those of you who are getting SU-42118-6, have you had or are you having problems with your optical disc? And as you see right here in this poll, out of 346 people that responded, almost half said that there's some issue with their optical drive not reading disk or not working at all. So this definitely sheds some light on this specific error message, because what I want to share with you is something that Sony has not mentioned with any of their updates, and it's something that it's only known by a few people in the community, and that is that when the PS4 system software update tries to install, it does a check on your optical drive. Now if it finds that your optical drive is not working, guess what? The PS4 system software update 8.50 is not going to install no matter what you do. But just because you get this error doesn't mean that it is an issue with the optical drive. So the first things you'll want to do is follow my video, which will come on your screen right now. I'll also put a link in the bottom where I walk you through what you can try to resolve SU-42118-6. So basically that video will walk you through booting up into safe mode to try to resolve the problem using some of the methods available in safe mode. Now if those methods don't work for you, there's one more thing you can try, and that is to replace the hard drive on your PS4. A lot of times that is the issue. A lot of these PS4s are already several years old, so eventually these mechanical hard drives fail. And they tend to fail when there's a lot of activity on the hard drive, such as when installing a system software update. So if you tried everything in my previous video, I would say definitely try to replace the hard drive and see if that works. I do want to point out that when you do replace a PS4 hard drive, that you have to use a USB drive to get the system software back into that new drive, because there's nothing on that new drive. And to do this, a lot of you will need either a computer or a smartphone. Since I know most of you have a smartphone, I will leave a video for that down in the description. You should also see it coming up right now. The one thing that you want to make sure when you follow the instructions is that when it comes to downloading the PS4 system software, you'll want to download the one that says reinstallation file and not the update files. So in my smartphone video, I do show you how to use the update file. However, the only small difference when you're following those instructions is to download the reinstallation file, which is a much bigger file that is about 1 gigabyte. Alright, so what I'm going to have you do is to test out the optical drive on your PS4 to see if it's working. First thing to try is to go ahead and hit the eject button to see if you hear a sound, and if you hear that sound, that means your optical drive has power. Now we're going to actually try a PS4 disc game to see if our PS4 can read the optical disc. So go ahead and insert it. And make sure that when the disc is inserted, you don't get any errors that the PS4 is having trouble reading the drive or the disc. Now that you have the disc inserted, go ahead and launch the game. Now, if you don't get any errors when launching the game, then that means your optical drive is working, and that is not the problem that is causing SU-42118-6. Okay, so for those of you who have tried everything to fix your PS4 and you're getting that error SU-42118-6, when trying to install the 8.50 update, then what can you do in that situation? Well, first of all, I do want to mention that 8.50 is a mandatory update. That means that you have to install it to pretty much do anything online on your PS4, play online multiplayer games and so on, so you're kind of stuck. So if you tested your optical drive and it does have issues, the very first thing to try is to replace the optical flex cable that connects from the motherboard on your PS4 to the optical drive. And a lot of times this will fix the problem. It's an easy fix, inexpensive, and you could probably do it yourself just by opening up your PS4 and then swapping out this cable. So that is the first thing to try. And if you're interested in getting that ribbon cable, I will leave a link down below on Amazon where you can get it. Okay, the next thing to try would be to actually replace your optical drive on your PS4, and with a little work you can get your PS4 working again. So for this, you'll need a replacement optical drive for your PS4, and I will leave a link to that down in the description so you can pick that up if you need it. Costs a little bit more, but not as much as getting a brand new PS4. And the final fix is not an easy one, guys. So final fix involves replacing a bad fuse on the PS4 motherboard, and that fuse is F6202. So I only recommend this fix for those of you who have experience soldering things. I don't recommend it for everyone, but if you are interested, I will leave a link to that specific fuse where you can pick it up in the description below.